Okay, Ken, what are we doing now?
Okay, so what we're doing is we're sitting here in this car waiting for the rain, there's blue sky over there, to stop falling out of the sky, which will be in about the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to head over to Sturge Taylor. We would see Bert Taylor there, but he's still actually in the south of France, so we're going to see Steve Laurie. They are insurance. They provide insurance for a lot of super yachts, and you're going to discover there isn't such a thing as insurance for a super yacht. Yesterday was a feast of clapperboarding, but today it's the imaginary virtual clapperboard.
We can all do it together.
Yeah.
Are we actually recording?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that worked.
So here we are, and the sun, bless it, has decided to come out on us.
Always.
It was teeming down with rain just half an hour ago, and we are back in the centre of Southampton. We're right by Town Quay, quite a historical site. And we're at the offices of Sturge Taylor with the HMFIC himself.
Head of office will do.
Head of office, Steve Laurie. Steve Laurie. So for those who well, let's start with some basic information.
Well, we are an insurance broking firm. So we sit between the insurance companies or the underwriters and the client. So we are arranging the insurances for the client with the insurance company.
So you help them shop around, not just necessarily for the best deal, but for the best fit to what their needs are.
We do all of that for them. So
and you get involved in like risk analysis and stuff like that to really try and understand what you should and shouldn't be covering.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to insure things that aren't a risk.
That's right. I mean, in a brief sentence, what we say we do is we arrange insurance programs for the owners of large luxury yachts.
And you don't provide the insurance, you are just the middleman.
Absolutely.
You use the J word like it's a middle thing. Almost nobody in the world can buy insurance.
Not at this level. So
almost nobody in the world can buy insurance. You have to involve a broker to deal with people like the underwriters at Lloyd's because they want to deal with somebody who knows what they're talking about.
That's right.
And that's what a broker does. Yeah. It's rather different to a yacht broker or a charter broker or those kind of brokers because this is a more traditional broking it's a very necessary intermediary role that brings in experience and knowledge. I'm kind of telling your story for you.
Well, I mean, do you want a job? That was a pretty good description.
But for super yachts, there's more than one insurance, isn't there? There's like machinery, and then there's crew, and then there's when it's in the yard. How does that all work?
Well, generally, when we look at a large yacht from an insurance angle, most of our programs fall into three categories. So you've got the yacht itself, and we're protecting the yacht against physical damage. So the prangs, the groundings.
Is this what's termed as just the hull?
Hull and machinery is what the technical term in insurance is what that's referred to as. You then have the liability aspect of that yacht's operation. So that will be damage that the yacht could do to the outside world, other vessels, other people's property, or indeed the owner's liability to the paid crew, like an employer's liability that we all have in our business. And then the final aspect is the crew welfare insurance. So they're medical expenses, personal accident insurances for the crew. So, from a claims aspect, the vast majority of our claims fall in the crew welfare side.
There aren't many insurance companies that do the three. Most specialise in one area.
That's why you need the broker to go and source all the three.
But no, even brokers like yourself, I mean, let's not name names.
Brokers.
No, some brokers specialise in certain fields. There are brokers out there that only specialise in the crew welfare insurances. Well, the Maritime Labour Convention has made certain aspects of employing crew, giving the crew, you have to now give those crew certain benefits.
Worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, if your flag state falls under MLC, then you need to provide certain benefits, and the crew welfare policies linked with the indemnity, the professional indemnity, the protection indemnity insurances, the P&I insurances for the yacht, together should address all of those aspects on behalf of the owner.
Then when the vessel goes into a yard, it's a different risk again, isn't it?
Well, shipyards are quite topical at the moment for several reasons from an insurance aspect.
Because apparently you're not a proper big super yacht yard unless you've had a fire. So you know, and
we seem to be having a lot of fires recently.
Yeah, and it's not to be flippant about it. And thank goodness for all the fires that we've had recently, there haven't been any real damage to people.
Is it unusually high at the moment, or is it just being publicised?
These fires, I mean, I'm sure Steve can comment, but these fires on vessels and fires in yards seem to come in waves. So if you go back about 10 or 15 years, even 20 years, there used to be fires in vessels in construction, and it used to be a welding problem. And then maybe 10 years ago, it was infrared lamps falling over. And then more recently, the sources of fires have been faulty or poor quality electrical fittings and wiring and so on. So, and they, as people realise, oh, I better take care of that, then the next weakest link down the chain comes in. And I think shipyards are also going through the same thing. They're gradually, I mean, they're trying to be efficient, they're trying to pack an awful lot in, but there are still human beings, and human beings make mistakes. There's not necessarily any evil intent here, and there doesn't even have to be, classic cases of negligence or carelessness. Stuff just can happen because human beings are involved. But Lursen had a massive fire, and that was very unfortunate for them. Fortunately, last time I spoke with them there, nobody got hurt, so that was cool. MB92 most recently had one. There's been fires down at
in Qatar. There was the recent one.
One in Qatar, but there was one in Fort Lauderdale with Emerson quite a few years ago. There was one in New Zealand, which kind of ended the building career of McMullen and Wing. So yeah, fires are a significant thing.
Now, insurance is normally boring as hell. So why do you like it?
Well, you're right. Insurance could be boring. I wouldn't be sat doing, say, caravan insurance or it's. I just say that as a for instance. There's nothing wrong with caravan insurance, but I mean,
it's not really the numbers because I would imagine home insurance, car insurance is all about the speed. This is more about the service.
Well, there's that, but I mean, just going back, certain aspects of insurance would be boring, but I find what we do, especially with the people we're dealing with, the product we're dealing with, the large luxury yacht world, is very interesting. But nothing works in the modern world without insurance. So it may be boring, but it is key to everything, I think, in the modern world, and especially in the superyacht industry. I mean, we talked about shipyard fires. A shipyard had a fire without insurance, that's the end of shipyard. They don't operate, they don't build any more yachts. So, the fact that it is a key factor in how everything operates makes it interesting.
So my last question in my set of questions here is what is, from your perspective, both you individually and you, your slice of the industry, what do you see as the outlook for super yachting for the next few years?
Well, I mean, in a general aspect, we follow the industry as best we can. We're a service business, obviously. We're not, we're not building or anything like that. But as far as I see, these yachts aren't getting any smaller, and the shipyards still seem to be busy. They're still coming off the production lines, and I read the magazines, and I think from what I can tell, from where we sit, it's still onwards and upwards for the actual industry itself. I hope I'm right. From where we are, from an insurance situation, it's kind of we're in a state of transition.
Yeah.
As I say, the underwriting market became very distressed about 18 months ago. So that needs to settle down and become sustainable. And
does that create opportunity though for the more agile or the more focused players to sort of kind of push through that?
What it does mean is, as I say, I started doing this in 1987, so I can remember markets that were hardening markets, as we call them in the insurance industry, and that's when the good brokers come to the fore. And I'm actually in kind of a sick way, enjoying the current situation because it is challenging.
Yeah.
We went through quite a few years of it being easy.
And then anybody can do it.
And because it was easy, anyone was doing it.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Quite a lot of those have fallen by the wayside. And a lot of underwriters and insurers were just coming in, not actually adding anything apart from a chunk of money that was available as security. Yeah. Well, a lot of those have gone now. So I was telling someone the other day, a large, like a 250 million euro yacht, we used to be able to tuck away in an afternoon. Can take 2 weeks now.
Wow.
And
so much more diligence.
And certain underwriters are saying no, we're not interested, and it's too, it's great. It's proper broking required.
Proper broking.
That's a fantastic way of. I've never heard anybody say I'm enjoying it being tough.
Well, no, it's great, and I get mocked a little bit by some of my fellow insurance brokers.
But it's like yacht racing. Anybody can go out racing in a decent breeze, but when there's hardly any wind at all, that's when you find out who's really good at racing.
Good analogy, and we're fortunate enough to have a brilliant team here at Sturge, and it's we'll see what happens in the months and years that come.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
So now, are you ready to take the Between Two Yetis quickfire challenge? Question 1: wine or beer?
Oh, can I say both?
No, and it's got to be quicker than that.
Wine.
Okay. Football or rugby?
Football.
Solent or Southampton universities?
Solent.
Lloyd's or MCA?
Lloyd's.
New build or refit?
New build.
Canoe stern or axe bow?
Axe bow.
And do you walk to work or do you take a packed lunch?
It's the
packed question. Brilliant. Well done, Steve.
Thank you.
That concludes.
Okay.
We'll get you away in time.
That was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was good, actually. That was good.
I loved that part at the end about it's good to be challenged.
Yeah, no, it is, and I mean that.
I told you
that wasn't
it was going to be more interesting than you thought.
That wasn't just BS.
Coming up in Chapter 9, we visit Lloyd's Register to learn the complexities of class certification. It sounds boring, but trust me, it is going to be amazing. Join us next time on Between Two Yetis on Tour.